excuse the frog in the throat, but it says here, Roy phone, Swiss made, could have been recorded by Roger Miller as he wrote it.
And thank you very
that's a good thing. It followed on that line. If you know, when you sometimes see a name who's written it, you often think, well, yeah, that's who did it first. But it says that, I think it says Roy phone, Swiss made, could have been recorded by Roger Miller as he wrote it. So, Mike, are we going to move on to Steve now?
Yes, quickly move on, because we got a special, some very nice surprise about PJ Proby, the great PJ Proby, short on the program. We're going to look at some of his recordings and some unissued recording or two of PJ's in about 3 or 4 minutes from now. So let's move quickly on. Quick calls now to Steve Pert, I think it is. Steve, a quick call. Sorry to keep you waiting so long. What have you got for us?
It's all right. The name's Peart, actually.
Peart, I beg your pardon, Mr. Peart. You're from Shrewsbury?
Yeah, just outside, actually, Westbury.
Right. What can we do for you, sir?
Well, I've got a pink HMV labelled record by Frankie Avalon.
Yeah.
I think it's 1957.
Right.
The A-side, DD Diner.
Yes, that was Ooh La La on the other side.
That's right.
That was the first record by Frankie Avalon and Pop 453, and it is rarest in this country. You get about £10 to £12 for it.
Yeah, it's still in the original sleeve too.
Marvellous. For about £10 to £12 for the Frankie Avalon, Steve.
Lovely. It's in good condition too.
That's the mauve sleeve, isn't it? Is it the mauve?
Pardon? That's the mauve sleeve, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve. That had to be short and sweet. And if you have another question, perhaps our guys out there will talk to you. We'll try and put you on the program next week.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Steve.
Well, Steve.
Bye-bye, Chris.
Yeah, bye-bye then, Stephen. One also, I mean, anyone else who's in Shrewsbury, don't forget there is a record fair in Shrewsbury tomorrow, and that is at the Belmont Youth Centre. That's all day tomorrow, 10 till 4. So if you want to pop down, I should be down there doing record valuations. You can soon come and see me, have a chat, bring things along, and I'll talk to you. One more, Mike from Shrewsbury?
Yeah, well, one more call, and this is our last call. Brian, is that Brian?
Yes.
Brian Chidley, is it?
That's right, yes.
Welcome to the programme, Brian. Sorry you've had to wait for us, but what's your question?
My question is really, I'm looking for a record, which is Call on Me by Bobby Bland.
Come out on Vocalion.
Yes.
Yeah, and what was it in the States? Peacock.
Duke.
Sorry, yes, mine went away.
Vocalion and Duke.
Yes, I used to have the record quite a few years ago, and up until now I've drawn a blank. In most places I've looked for it.
Anywhere you can be reached, sir?
Pardon?
Anywhere we can contact you if anyone's got the Bobby Bland record?
Well, I'm on the phone, but I'm going away on holiday this next week, so I shan't be there. But the telephone number is Shrewsbury 3209.
3209.
Shrewsbury 3209.
This I'll give you address out then. It's just 3209, and we'll just leave it to Brian for now. And perhaps if you've had no success, you'll contact us when you get back from your holes.
Yeah.
And hopefully, when you get back from your holes, you've got an answer to it. And if you haven't, give us a ring, and we'll put you on again, mate.
I will do. Can I ask you just for a couple of quick valuations? I've got 2 demo labels. Golden World, Coming at You by The Reflections.
Coming at You?
Coming at You by The Reflections.
It's about £8.
About £8.
Yeah.
And I've also got What Would I Do by The Superiors on Verve, and that's a special disc jockey label.
Is that another pressing? Is it a light blue Verve?
No, it's a yellow Verve with a special disc jockey record.
Yeah, that's it's not actually a pressing, it's a limited edition. They are worth about $2 to $2.50 now. $2 to $2.50? Yeah.
Right.
It's yellow and it's got at the top something like special products or something else. Yeah.
No.
Okay then, we'll have to leave it at that for now.
It's about $2.50. It is about $2.50 because Lou Roberts and a few others came out on the same label. They were basically made up purely for the Northern Soul market, licensed from the companies.
Oh, I see.
Okay, Brian, have a good holiday, and if you have no success, call us on when you get back, and we'll do our best to do something for you, mate.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Nick.
That's Brian calling us from Shrewsbury here, who's after the Bobby Bland. Thanks to all our callers this evening, and a special thanks to Pete Brooks and Stuart Green, who have manned the phone so ably. Pete Brooks, Stuart Green, because they're sweating away in there. If you haven't got through this evening, you can ring now, if you want, 0743 248 321, because Pete and Stuart will take your calls, and we will be able to use you on the show next week. So there you are. Right, Mr. PJ Proby, James Marcus Smith, lend me your tonsils. Let's rock and roll. Rockin' Pneumonia Boogie Woogie flew, of course, from the great PJ Proby. Now that came from an album called PJ Proby at his very best, and the legendary PJ Proby, and it's C for Miles, and that's CSW 72. I want to express my special thanks.
Did that come out on single?
It came out on an extended play, actually, Chris. There we are. It came out on an EP originally. And is quite collectible. It's
what's
quite
that?
About £6 to £8 the EP. Because there's quite a few PJ Proby EPs.
That Christmas one is I think the most collectible.
Arguable. Yes, indeed. But I want to say my special thanks right away to David Britton, and Michael Butterworth of Savoy Records and Savoy Books in Manchester, who have been very helpful to me and sent me. Tonight I've got a very special surprise because they sent me some tapes which have never been heard before from Mr. PJ Proby, and they are recordings he's made, renditions of songs which should please old fans and new, and they are also some of these, I hasten to add, these aren't the final mixes of these, so I'm going to dip into those, and you really are having a world premiere on these this evening. The EPs of PJ Proby were PJ Proby on Liberty, which Somewhere, Christmas with PJ, which, in my opinion, the PJ Proby first EP is harder than the Somewhere with PJ. PJ's Hits, Proby Again, Remember PJ Proby, which is a UA United Artists reissue, basically. Pop Focus did Carlsberg and Cocktails 12-inch in 1985. So
what do they list those at then? I mean, I thought the PJ Proby Christmas one was about £8 now.
Well, it's about £9 actually.
Yeah.
So if you want to be sort of put a price on it, but frankly, it is an item you see pretty regularly, that one. And I think some of the other extended plays are a little harder. Now, Savoy Records make it very clear that they don't do sort of mail order and this sort of thing, but if you're anywhere near Manchester and you want to pop into their store, 279 Deansgate, it is Manchester, 279 Deansgate, Manchester, and their number is 061 834 556. Well, don't ring them now, will you? 061 834 556. So, without further ado, I shall go to the tape machine here, and with a bit of luck, with I twiddle the right knobs, we will actually get to hear. Here we are, PJ Proby. You're the first to hear it. In the Air Tonight from James Marcus Smith. It's a cracker. PJ Proby. Now you heard it first. Of course, on this station, and you're tuned to
With you in the Midlands, BBC Radio.
with the gruesome twosome, that's Mike Adams and Chris Savey. The time is 17 minutes to 9. We're looking at just a small part of the recorded works of Mr. PJ Proby. His career started in this country. We know him from when he appeared on a Beatles program, and I think he opened up the show with My Prayer. And of course, Jack Good had a big influence on the early Proby. His early singles were massive hits. I'll just repeat some of the chart positions for you. Those of you who are a bit younger, grab hold of these tracks because they're cracking. They're Hold Me, which was the first track, which went in the top 3 and was in the charts for 15 weeks in '64. Together, Somewhere, I Apologize, That the Water Run Down, and that means a lot. Maria, You've Come Back, and To Make a Big Man Cry, I Can't Make It Alone, and It's Your Day Today. A total of 89 weeks in the charts, and certainly one of the greatest voices ever to come across these shores to sing popular music. Regrettably, we don't see much of PJ on the stage these days, and well, a lot of it's self-inflicted, so we hear, but there is obviously some good sounds on the way from Savoy Records. 279 Deansgate, Manchester, 061 834 556, or Mither, your local record store. Incidentally, the there has been quite a bit released by Savoy, including Tainted Love on 12-inch and 85, Love Will Tear Us Apart, the Joy Division track, 2 versions of that incidentally, and then Heroes on 12-inch, and the Mugwumps Dance and Pools of Thought, and that was also on 12-inch, PJS4. And of course, that track I've just mentioned now, which is in the air tonight, and I'm on Fire, which I'll see if I can get round to playing this evening, and he's also working on Prince's Sign of the Times, but it's not yet in a finished mix, so we may just dip into that. We'll see if we can actually play a little bit of that on the show. The time is 8:45.
Yeah, Nicky Hokey is also very collectible. That is one of those crossover tracks that went on to the Northern Soul scene. Just to let you know what's happening next week, we've had confirmation tonight that we're going to get David Holm next week from Rumble magazine, and that's in Stafford. He's going to be coming along telling you all about Rumble magazine, instrumental artists from not only from Britain but hopefully from all over the world, all sorts of things. I know Rumble was going hey, it must be nearly 2 decades that Rumble's been going, so it is the longest running instrumental magazine, even though it's had a few breaks. So that'll be interesting. He's coming on next week to talk about instrumentals, and it could be instrumentals all over the place. I'll give you one more final recap on the 2 record fairs we found out about so far and what's happening over the weekend, so that you know who's where, what, and so. Let's go tomorrow night, New Vic Theatre, Stoke-on-Trent, Helen Shapiro, 7:30, and tonight at the Bear until 11 o'clock. That's the Bear in the West Brampton, Newcastle, followed by the Prince's Suite in Longton. That is Soul, 60s Northern, etc. I think all night, or till at least 2 o'clock. I think it's Keith Minshall's birthday party down at Prince's Suite. Looking at tomorrow at Record Fairs, you have Cars Lane opposite Marks and Spencer's. That is in Birmingham. That's 10 till 5. You have Shrewsbury Belmont Youth Centre. That is from 10 till 4. I'll be popping down to do valuations. Come and say hello if you can, but do support your local record fair.
Right, back to PJ Proby. For those of you that check down on Proby in a thumbnail sketch, born, of course, James Marcus Smith in Houston, Texas, November the 6th, 1938. And there are claims that he had childhood friendship with Tommy Sands, I gather, and his stepsister dated Elvis Presley. In America, he relocated to Beverly Hills, Hollywood, and he was working on the alias, I think, of Jet Powers then, making his first recordings like Go Girl Go, Teenage Quarrel, Loud, Perfume, My Troubles, both out-and-out rockers, were his early releases on tiny independent labels, as I hasten to add. I've heard that he had a brief employment with the Mellow Kings, which is a white vocal group with a very doo-wop sort of sound. He was lead vocal there. And also a similarly styled group called the Moondogs, under, I think, the alias of Powers. So there we have it. That's a little bit of the background of PJ Proby. The most collectible item, I think, to look for is the Jet Powers album called Californian License. Here is a record that brought him really to the forefront of attention in the United Kingdom. Hold Me. Well, I always like that Better Than Hold Me Together track. That Jimmy Page was on the guitar there, and of course our winner of our competition was Troy Barker, who said that of course Jimmy Page was the lead guitarist on that track. Chris, just quickly run down those charts there for PJ Proby there, and I'm going to just pinch. I must hear a bit of Hold Me as live radio. I just play. Let's see if we get it in here. A bit of Hold Me, so that if you've never heard Hold Me, this was... wait, what position did it reach, by the way?
Hold Me, that got to number 3. In fact, that was his best position of all, and his first British chart hit. And he'd got 3 others in the top 10. Together, of course, Somewhere, which got to number 6. Together got to number 8, by the way. And Maria, which also got to number 8. Everything else was... really, apart from I Apologise and Let the Water Run Down, which were the teens, then you're really going back to things like I Can't Make It Alone at 37, It's Your Day Today 32, To Make a Big Man Cry 34, That Means a Lot number 30. way back, you know.
Right, here is a little bit of Hold Me, and then another exclusive from Savoy.
Never to forsake me, 'cause I love you so.
Hold Me, of course, from PJ Proby, our special feature tonight on the Record Collectors. Now I'm going to try and squeeze two more little tracks in here. The Day That the Rain Came Down, and another one of these newly recorded tracks from PJ Proby, which I am very excited about. I particularly like the track In the Air, which I played earlier, and this, I'm going to give you a little sample of this one. This could also be the next release of PJ Proby, though I think In the Air tonight is superior to this one, I Am on Fire. Here it is. Tell me what you think of it. PJ Proby. I think really there's so much work this guy's done, we could almost do with actually doing a two-part feature on the recording works of PJ. But I'll just quickly go through some of the discography of PJ, so you have some idea of what to look for and what they're actually worth. So I would say that look for all the extended play records of PJ, the early Liberty ones, you know, Liberty, PJ Proby, Somewhere, Christmas with PJ, as Chris mentioned, PJ's hits, Proby again, and Remember PJ. And of course the albums, the one really to look for is, of course, California License, which was, of course, his alias Jet Powers in 1969. Also the Catch My Soul, which he performed in, of course, brilliantly in 1970. The soundtrack included Proby. That'll now set you back about a tenner, and the California License will set you back up to £60, maybe more, I've been told. Of the singles, the only one I think which you really got to dig deep into the pocket for is probably To Make a Big Man Cry and Wicked Woman, and that's on Liberty 10236, and You Got Me Crying on Melodisc, also especially if you about £8 that one I think now. Of the latest stuff in his career, probably Hanging from Your Loving Tree and Today I Killed a Man and It's Goodbye are worth looking for and good investment. The best investment, of course, is the man's voice. The Day the Rain Came Down is from the C for Miles albums, the legendary PJ Proby C for Miles at his very best and at his very best Volume 2, and incidentally very best Volume 2 on C for Miles was actually voted the album of the month in in Record Collector not so long ago. Here is the man and his voice.
The day that the rain came down, my life came down.
PJ Proby, of course, and The Day That the Rain Came Down. You've been tuned to the Record Collectors. Same spot on the dial next week for some of the greatest sounds you'll ever hear. Now we join Radio 2 listeners, of course, for Friday night is Music Night.
Mendelssohn wrote this lovely violin